Hello, everyone. Welcome back from launch. And just like maybe we're still in launch mode, I'm just going to show my Twitter really quick. This is my Twitter account. And so just the day before yesterday, there was a big news. A big influencer of crypto lost like millions of dollars of crypto because of phishing. And just last week, a Bitcoin core developer lost $3.3 million because his PGP key was leaked. So if an influencer have like with tens of thousands of followers or Bitcoin core developer can get phished, then everyone can. So we need to be very vigilant about our asset security. So just a brief story of how this guy got his assets stolen. And on top of that, his channel, Discord and YouTube was sending malicious message to his users. So he lost his trust in his fan base as well. It's a horrible incident, but the reason was because he downloaded a OBS desktop software for broadcasting. And the software was backdoored by a malware, and all his accounts were compromised, and his crypto assets were transferred. So yeah, just the relevant news on this topic. Let's get into our slide. Okay. So now we're going to talk about phishing, wallets, and private key security. This syllabus will be divided into 3 parts. One, we're going to talk about phishing attacks, and second, we're going to talk about wallet and private keys, and third, we're going to talk about preventative measures. What is phishing attack? As we can see in the screen, there's 2 websites look pretty similar, but one is fake. The top level domain is different. The fake one uses .net, and the real one is .com. Because the top level domain is different, this server is actually controlled by a complete different entity than the real one. And attackers can set up his own server and, for example, clone the official page, but have some malicious JavaScript to ask for users' private keys or password. This type of phishing website mainly imitates the domain name and content of official website. Even in some market, criminals were selling and buying those JavaScript packages that can use like one click and have the full process automated. In this example, the JavaScript package will first check users' balance before they carry out other fraudulent operations. For example, they would ask user to approve spending limit to the attacker, or they would just transfer the user's assets directly. There are different types of phishing sites. In this one, the top level domain is different. Invisible Friends is an NFT project, and we've discovered many impersonators. They use different top level domains, for example, .tag, .id, .space, .ch. .ch I think is a top level domain for Switzerland, but they are completely different from the official one, and those ones are fake and were being hosted by attackers. Sometimes attackers will add a word or symbol to the main domain name. In this example, it's otherside.xyz, which is also an NFT project. And attackers were getting creative. It was adding /refunds or otherside matter /airdrop to the domain name. At a first glance, you may think these phishing domains are related to the project somehow, but they are in fact completely different and were being used to scam people. Sometimes attackers will add a second domain name. In this case, azuki.com, which is also an NFT project. And attackers use azuki.com.co. They are different. They belong to different registers, so attackers control the latter, azuki.com.co. And the site is also fake, not legitimate. attackers will use trending event to gain as much attention as possible and attract lots of traffic that way. During the Ethereum merge event, so when Ethereum was migrated from POW to POS, a lot of attackers used this event to host phishing website and trying to scam innocent users. Also Discord. Discord is a software that's very popular among crypto projects to increase their community awareness. And attackers will take advantage of that and create a Discord fake bot. So when a user joins a new project's official Discord community, the attacker will send the user fake authentication information via the fake bot and asking the user to enter some personal information. For example, their wallet, mnemonic words, or some private keys or passwords or other private personal information. This is phishing email. It's classic. I mean, in traditional web security, you have lots of phishing emails. But in this case, attackers were impersonating OpenSea community. So they were pretending from OpenSea, and OpenSea was recently upgraded last year. Last February, it was upgraded from Wyvern protocol to the Seaport protocol. And attackers took advantage of this event and sent mass phishing emails to OpenSea customers. And when people click on this get started link, they will be directed to the attacker's website. And attackers will do some other operations from their own and compromise users' assets that way. And Twitter. I think everyone who uses Twitter will be very familiar with this. So you can always see different Vitalik or different Elon Musk saying free crypto giveaways. send me 1 Bitcoin, I will send you 1.5 Bitcoin as soon as possible. But those Elon Musk and Vitalik are always lying. When you send your 1 Bitcoin to them, they will never give it back. I mean, I haven't tried, but if you look at their address closely, and those addresses only have incoming transaction. They don't send anything out. Yeah, so they can also impersonate other crypto projects and say, we are giving charity giveaways and please fill out this form or get some airdrops. But in fact, they might just ask for your signature and trying to scam you that way. And here is fake websites to lure users into direct transfers. So as you can see, they have buttons there, and once you click, the JavaScript will be put into action. They have a fake UI interface impersonate the project. And when you interact with some dApp, you have to connect your wallet first, right? And once you connect your wallet and you click on the money, and they will ask you to sign something, and your money can be transferred out this way. And there's fake airdrops. This type of phishing site uses fake airdrops and other means to lure users into visiting phishing site. Once the user connects to the wallet, buttons such as Claim Now will appear to lure users into clicking on them. So one of the common ways for attackers to get access to your assets is to phish your seed phrases. MetaMask doesn't ask for user seed phrase. They will ask you a local password to unlock your wallet. That's it. So if a MetaMask ever asks you to input your seed phrase, except when you first install a MetaMask from scratch, those MetaMask are always fake. So when MetaMask says, please input your seed phrase, some people put in their seed phrase and their private keys will be recovered by attackers and all their assets will be stolen. And
how about during the authentication?
Yeah.
Say if you have not used it for a while and you logged out from your Chrome browser,
Yeah.
Chrome thing,
Yeah.
malware, right? Necessarily. Will MetaMask ask you then, after you key in your password, for the seed phrase to authenticate your wallet?
The password that you enter is a locally stored password. Yeah, it's not seed phrase. Just by having a password will not give the attacker the power to transfer your assets. They need the private key. But locally, you need the password to unlock your computer, to unlock your wallet. So for example, if you left your computer out in the open and someone had access to your computer, they can't just like take a peek at your private key. I think the purpose of the password is like that. So it's different from private key, which is the de facto authentication method in crypto. This is a fake Discord page. So attackers were creating fake Discord page impersonating projects. So once you trying to log in, they might steal your Discord password or some other things, and use your account to, for example, scam your friends and families. And yeah, I'm open to hear like any interesting like phishing stories if you had any.
Yeah, we can go through the NFT God example.
Yeah.
So we can go to the page that you just showed. So the guy click on the link, and the link contains malware.
Yeah.
How would you advise us on preventing malware from invading your computer?
Okay. So there are many ways that you can prevent this from happening. First, he downloaded this OBS software by going to Google and searched OBS desktop download.
Yeah.
But Google is not like it doesn't have a sense of justice, right?
Right.
Your black hat SEO can get their malicious result be on the top of search result.
Yeah.
So in this case, he was directed to a fake website.
Yeah.
So don't just trust your search engine. Make sure that the website you're visiting is actually the official one. And second, once you download the software package, legitimate software usually have a GitHub repo or some other ways to host their PGP keys and the hash. You can compute the hash of the software and compare it with the official hash. In Mac, it's like, for example, SHA-1 or SHA-256. You can compute the hash of your package and compare that with the official one. Yeah, but if you go to the official website, that's probably okay, unless the official website got compromised, which is in the case of BitKeep wallet. It also happened last December, and the official APK package was compromised and was put in the back door. So always download from the official website and check your signature, a hash. In crypto world, I think it's more important than in traditional world. You have to compare hash.
I see. So the antivirus software you have on your PC is not good enough to prevent malware.
No, I was in traditional web security before, and there are so many ways to bypass antivirus software.
Okay.
And yeah, I think most malware they can.
Okay.
Yeah. And if, for example, if I use a Mac computer like me, I don't use any antivirus software. So yeah, I think it's if they can have access to for example, an Apple developer certificate, then it can run in your computer. So in my case, that would be it. Yeah.
I think the challenge now is with all the zero clicks. So even a Google Chrome browser cannot be trusted. So your MetaMask on Google Chrome itself is already exposed and compromised.
We're going to talk about segregation of assets in later, because MetaMask is a web wallet, right? So it belongs to a type of hot wallet. And also you interact with a lot of dApps, you sign a lot of things. So it's risky. It's risky. Therefore, you shouldn't put all your assets in MetaMask. And yeah, for example, have some like cold wallet, and store your assets offline would be a good example.
So if your MetaMask has been compromised, say you've accidentally keyed in your seed phrase, right, thinking that it was authenticating you, maybe that was a whole fraudulent Chrome browser to begin with, right? What do you do? I mean, considering there's no money in the wallet, right? So
Yeah.
do you then just create a new account and just abort and discard that?
Yeah, for sure. You have to create a new account. And if you had money in the wallet, like transfer the money out as soon as possible. And like for example, sometimes when you have like other tokens, and the attackers will first steal all your Ethereum, so you don't have gas, and they don't have gas, and it's like your ERC token is sitting on your wallet, and it's difficult to get your money out to recover the rest of your money. So in this way, you need to, in this scenario, you need to use like something like Flashbot. It seems like MEV bot. You need to get your transaction included before the attacker. So for example, you can include a transaction bundle that sends your Ether balance to this wallet and transfer the token out in the same bundle. And that has to be done by some Flashbot operators. So yeah, you can ask experts' help in this case. I think on Twitter and our company also, we are willing to help customers. Yeah. So wallet and private keys. Yeah, there are two types of wallet, cold wallet and hot wallet. Cold wallets are offline wallets, which prevents hackers from stealing private keys by keeping them offline and never connect to the internet. Some common types of hardware wallets and paper wallets. We can order hardware wallets online, for example, Ledger and Trezor. And this is comparatively secure, but not 100% because there are still supply chain risks. During the transportation, they might get compromised somehow. The definition of a hardware wallet is a special electronic device for storing encrypted assets. The function is to store the private key in an internal chip, which never leaves the device and is therefore secure. The private key is generated via C phrases. There's also hot wallets. Hot wallets can be divided to web wallet and browser extension wallet and mobile wallet. The picture in the middle, IM token, is a famous mobile wallet. And the MetaMask is a browser extension wallet. Hot wallet has access to internet, so you have to be extremely careful and not to store the bulk of your asset in hot wallet and only use it when necessary. So this is a wallet approval operation. There are currently two types of dApps. The first of which has its own server side and can connect directly to the P2P nodes in the blockchain system. This is not very common. The dApps that we see usually has no server side, and the JavaScript code on its page cannot access the P2P nodes of Ethereum, but it has to connect to Ethereum network through your MetaMask wallet. So your MetaMask wallet connects to for example, Infura. That's default. That's a node, Ethereum node, and will send your transaction to the node, the third party. And that's basically connect to MetaMask request. Check the URL before you approve to make sure that you're not connecting something weird. And this is term of service signing. It's common because many websites require users to sign term of service. This is not malicious because, as you can see, the data is it's all written there, and you just need to prove that you already read the term of service. And here is a normal transaction signature. There are three types of normal transaction signature. There's transfer, there's contract creation, and there's contract execution. And we can see on the left what kind of signature is it in three type. What do you guys think? Some hint. It's a function type is a multi-core and takes in two parameters. One is a UIN256, and another is a dynamic bytes array.
Sorry, what's the question?
Which type of signature is it? Transfer or contract creation or contract execution?
Normal transactions.
Yeah, yes, execution. Yeah, correct.
Transfer is when you want to mitigate it securely instead of using the, early on you were mentioning about using transfer instead of, what was it?
You mean transfer function?
Yeah, that's right.
But
Yeah.
this is a transaction.
This is
Yeah.
a transaction.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, for contracts.
So in contract execution, even if the function name is transfer, it's still an execution function. Yeah. Transfer, I think in this case, strictly means you're transferring Ether or native assets. And this is a blind signature. We can see here, we know what's going on, even the hacks, and we can see the data, and we can decode it. But in this case, you don't know what you're signing. It's just some hack stream. And in this case, it's very dangerous because it could be malicious. And attackers usually benefit from this opaqueness.
Sorry, can we expose the message if we click on it? Is that how it works?
Message, if you click on it, nothing's on.
Expose it. Can we see what's inside?
It's just some hexadecimal string.
It doesn't link to anything.
No, it's not. So if you really want to decode it, like I can recommend some decoding websites, but in this case, it's not going to be decodable. So if it's a legitimate transaction, you can go to So yeah, for example, you can copy and paste the core data there, and if you know the contract ABI, you can put the ABI here and decode. If you don't know the ABI, you can. Some of the tools are smart enough to actually guess the ABI, but they might not be accurate. So cross-reference different tools and try to decode them if you can. If you cannot decode the tools, be really careful because that might be dangerous. This is an example of the OpenSea phishing incident. On 21st February 2022, the crypto marketplace OpenSea suffered an attack. According to the official response from OpenSea, some users had their assets stolen as a result of signing approval to the hackers. And this is OpenSea's Twitter, and that was the Etherscan screenshot. So as we can see in the this is a blockchain transaction forensic tool, so we can see what's going on inside a transaction and trying to decipher it. The OpenSea Wyvern Exchange V1 is the old protocol. Now it's a C-port. And we can see the atomic match was being called. That means that the attacker managed to get the user to sell their NFT product in an atomic match. And the receiver is the malicious attacker. So the user is actually already compromised in this stage. And the second transaction, the NFT was transferred from the user to the attacker. And we can see in the event, this is a custom event by the Wyvern protocol, and the price is actually 0. So the attackers managed to get the user to sell his NFT for 0, and he got the NFT for free. And as we can double check in the Etherscan Explorer, the value is 0. So the attacker didn't pay anything to get this NFT, to get all those NFTs actually. So private key. There's difference between private key and password. Password is not a private key. Private key is a string of hexadecimal characters. An account has only one private key and cannot be changed. For example, the following string is a private key. Don't worry, it has no money in it. And it's like 64 characters long. So be careful if you have problems importing your private keys, you might have the wrong length of the private key. And seed phrase, or sometimes we call it mnemonic words, are usually 12 to 24 easy to remember English words. They are usually they are the ones that for example, MetaMask asks you to back up. And key store is a JSON encoded file storing encrypted private key. If you're running a local Ethereum node, or for example, if you were using crypto a long time ago, using, for example, MyEther wallet online or crypto.com, you can export your crypto private keys in a key store file. And that is JSON encoded file. And when you decode it, you input your password, and it will convert back to the private key.
If you lose that, is that okay?
I suggest like you have redundancy. So for example,
if you lose that
yeah.
to the attacker, is that okay?
A key store.
Yeah.
If your password is very difficult to guess, they will not be able to get your assets. But it's still a thing. Like for example, if the attacker has huge computing resource, he can brute force your password.
Yeah.
So that's a possibility. But yeah, like leaking a key store to attacker is better than leaking your private key to attacker directly. Yeah. Yeah. So in terms of the seed phrase and mnemonic phrase, they can be related to different private keys. So for example, in your MetaMask, you use your seed phrase to create an account, a MetaMask account, and you create account 1, account 2, account 3. Those accounts are deterministic. That means if you, for example, if you delete your MetaMask wallet and you create a new MetaMask wallet and you import your seed phrase, and when you create 3 accounts, those accounts are going to be having the same address.
Having the same address.
Yeah. So address 1, address 2, address 3.
What do you mean by same as previous wallet?
Yeah, same as previous wallet.
That's not new, right?
Like the mnemonic phrase or seed phrase can determine what what public keys they will generate.
Yeah.
So for example,
so those are
yeah.
still the old address.
Yeah, those are the old address.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically that's retrieval, right?
Yeah.
That's a retrieval process.
Retrieval process. Yeah. So if you lost your mnemonic phrase, then all your address need to be changed in that wallet. Private key security is a big issue. It can lead to tremendous loss. The biggest hack in crypto history happened last year, March 20th, 2022, was a Ronin incident. And Ronin is a cross-chain bridge. And it uses validators to validate the cross-chain signature. They need five validators to sign to validate the legitimacy. Five out of 9 validators. The attackers managed to get 5 validators, and they signed their own fraudulent message to transfer assets to their own address. And this result almost like over 6 billion loss. And also last year, we had other big losses, such as Harmony and Wonder Hero. And they're all the result of leaking their private keys. Private key security also has implications for users. First, sometimes attackers use phishing sites to trick user into filling in seed phrase, and also fake wallet apps. Sometimes attackers will have the fake browser apps, but mostly no, they try to backdoor the legitimate app directly and use, for example, the search engine suggestions to get users to download them. And they also use social engineering. For example, they would say, please download this wallet and we'll airdrop you how much assets. And once victims were downloading the fake apps, their crypto will be in danger.
Yeah. As you mentioned in the BitKeep example, the official APK package was replaced by the fake one.
Yeah.
Was that done by CDN hijacking, or was that like just the website was compromised?
I believe the website was compromised.
Okay.
Yeah. And
How
only
do you tell the difference?
Uh,
If it's a CDN hijacking, then only certain geography of users will be affected?
CDM compromise usually is change of JavaScript, and the thing is, usually those wallet files were uploaded to an external bucket for quick download. For example, Amazon Bucket or some other storage,
Yeah.
and for download, and those usually have website developers have authority to change the binary files.
Right.
And usually the a compromise of a website is easier and more basic to
Right.
perform this type of thing.
I see.
Yeah. CDM poisoning is really unpredictable. You don't know who and when users will be directed.
Right.
Yeah. So
CDN hijack and DNS hijack are the same thing?
it's not the same thing. DNS hijack means the domain name is poison.
Right.
So for example, when you buy a domain from a registrar,
Yeah.
you link your DNS to a server address, right?
Right.
And DNS hijacking means the attacker got control over the process and linked their own server, malicious server,
Right.
to the DNS name. So for example, when user then go to MetaMask.io, they will go to the attacker control server.
Right.
Yeah. CDM is more complicated than that.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's very unpredictable. Like, yeah, CDM has different geographies and different things, and it's very limited to different service providers. But for DNS, it's, if you have control of the account, then DNS hijacking can happen. Yeah.
Not directly related to the fake wallet app. If there is a new wallet app that's available, is there a way of telling whether the wallet actually store your private key or not?
Yes, but you need to dissect the program, which is very difficult. And that's why I think it's better to use well-known wallets and just don't fall for the promotions of like really cheap wallets.
Yeah, but even the well-known wallet, you don't really know, right? Just because it's popular, maybe the developer just sits on it for 10 years before deciding to.
Yes and no, because some of those wallets are open source. You can actually check them and compare yourself. Yeah. And for example, if like wallets like Phantom and MetaMask, they got approved in the web extension store, right? So basically, that means like Google already checked if they have backdoors or not. And also there are many users, so many users will find out if there's a malicious package in that.
And going back to the deterministic wallet.
Yeah.
What is the chance, the likelihood of creating a duplicate address?
I think we're not gonna see it in your lifetime.
But if isn't it random?
It's random, yes, but it's impossible. It's statistically impossible. Yeah, because it's 2 to the power of 256, and I think it's just we're not gonna see it in your lifetime. Maybe quantum computer will be able to, but I think there's still ways to protect from it.
I hear that, but if it's random,
yeah.
it can happen, right? No?
Well, yes, yeah, but the probability is too low, so we don't consider that. Yeah. Now it's the Trojan horse, so just like the NFT how he got attacked was because of Trojan software. So this type of attack invites users to participate in some internal testing or some in-house testing of some new game project under the guise of discount and send you a program to download in the group chat or private chat. And once you run it on your computer, it will scan files on your computer and then sift through the files containing keywords such as wallets and upload them to the attacker servers for the purpose of stealing. They will also monitor your clipboard. So if you ever copy paste your private keys, they can also get everything. So be careful.
Could a NFT contain malware or fraudulent calls or
NF
point? Because I heard rumors that people given an NFT or,
Yeah.
or a coin and then something happened to their wallet afterwards. I don't know how true that is.
NFT don't contain malware, but like for example, if a user was accepting NFT, then for example they can get there's possibility that the user's private information will be leaked. Because for example, when you open your MetaMask, it actually calls it actually will connect to the URL embedded in NFT, and maybe the attacker can get your IP address. And if you interact with the NFT, then maybe he can like get some signature from you, and that's malicious. But it will not compromise the safety of your computer.
Oh, but ERC-20
ERC-20
doesn't.
token is more limited than NFTs, so nothing will happen. Yeah. But if you want to sell it, for example, I know if you have Ethereum wallet, then it's probably common experience to receive lots of spammy ERC tokens, right? Just leave them alone and nothing will happen to you. But if you try to sell them, for example, on the pool, liquidity pool, then some of the attack vectors, including stealing your gas fees. Yeah, so they will steal a little bit of money from you, but if there's lots of people, then they get a lot of money. Yeah.
Sorry, what about executable files inside NFTs or inside images? Will that create an exploit?
Executable inside the image.
Yeah.
If the extension is image extension, then those exploits will never run. But if the exploit is embedded in the image, it usually serves as a second stage attack. So for example, when the first payload was being already run in your computer, then the payload will fetch the image and extract the code out and run the code.
Okay, so the like .dll or .jar needs to execute against the
Yeah.
application already on the device.
Yes. So the image itself will not compromise your computer.
Okay.
And preventions. So the most important thing is for asset segregation. So never put all your eggs in one basket. Use cold wallets for large assets. And for traders or like DApp users, we have to be very careful and limit the risky transactions only in our temporary and web wallets. And when we try to claim airdrops, and that's a very risky action, we must make sure that there's not too much valuable assets in your wallet when claim airdrops. And this website is revoke.cash. If you connect your wallet to this website, it will tell you that what contracts that you have given approval to. Check this website regularly if you're a savvy user, and make sure to revoke unnecessary approvals. Approvals can be bad because, for example, in the case of multi-chain and transit swap, the attackers exploit the bug in a smart contract, but they actually stole assets from the smart contract users. Those users previously approved their balance to those legitimate projects. But if they revoke them regularly, then their assets will not be in danger. In terms of signatures, don't sign blind signatures. Always try to decode them. And double check what you are signing a transaction. So, and clear your approvals regularly. In terms of wallet, try to use mainstream wallets. Any questions?
So that's revoke.cash.
Yeah, revoke.cash. I can show you now.
Go ahead. I just want to make
Okay.
sure it's not a phishing
Okay.
site, then I'll go ahead.
There's other website that function the same way, but just make sure that they are legitimate and check the reviews. Yeah.
What about hardware wallets? What is it 100%? Well, I guess it's difficult to say that it's 100% safe. Or
Cold wallets.
sorry, yes, cold wallets.
Nothing is 100% safe, and there are multiple ways that a cold wallet can also get compromised.
Right.
Yeah.
That's when you connect, obviously.
Yeah, when you connect your cold wallet to your computer, you for example use its assets, and if the device is compromised, then your assets is in danger. And also, for example, when you order your cold wallet, I think Kraken Exchange, their security team actually made a proof of concept. So they embedded a backdoor USB chip inside the cold wallet, and it will basically steal people's assets. And for example, like when you order a cold wallet and someone compromises it during transit, then you're receiving a compromised device and your asset might be in danger.
Is there a tool to check whether it has that? I think it's called man-in-the-middle attack.
Yeah, it's man-in-the-middle attack. Yeah,
Is
or
there a
supply
tool
chain
to
attack. Different manufacturers will have different ways to make sure that integrity is protected. So it depends on the product.
Are there any risks if you connect a hot wallet to a website, but I mean, you don't disconnect after leaving, but you don't sign any transaction? But are there any risks?
There's basically no risk, except
So
that.
you don't sign anything, there shouldn't
Yeah.
be any risk, even if you're connected to your wallet is connected to the website.
Yeah, only if they try to, like, for example, get your IP address or something, or for example, connect like your profile to your address. That's the only thing, but your assets will be safe.
Because I understand it's always a good habit to always disconnect your wallet
Yeah.
when you leave the site.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you just forget and leave it there, there shouldn't be any risk. Right?
No, but try to disconnect them because like it's for privacy purpose. Yeah.
Can you provide an opinion whether it's a good idea to use Mobile Connect? When you have another app that
Yeah.
cannot connect to Web3,
Yeah.
there's a Mobile Connect option, so kind of like a middleware to connect to the Web3.
What's Mobile Connect? I've never seen it.
So if you have a wallet like,
You mean Wallet Connect or
If you-
Mobile Connect?
I think it's Mobile Connect, oh, I can't remember now. when you got Trust Wallet, right, you cannot connect to Web3, and there is an option to connect using, I thought it was a Mobile Connect, maybe
I think it's
I'm wrong.
Wallet Connect.
It is
Wallet
Wallet
Connect.
Connect. Or Wallet Connect, yeah, sorry. Is there a risk having that middleware connecting to the Web3, do you think?
So I think that's the mobile wallet. So the hot wallet, still the hot wallet, but the mobile wallet. So basically, it will connect to
MetaMask.
the same as MetaMask, except one is in a browser and one is in your phone. And for example, your desktop wallet, and there's like other like non-extension wallet desktop, they connect to the dApp in the same way as MetaMask. So basically, the website will know that you have this address when you connect it. Yeah. Yeah. So it's same as MetaMask.
Sorry, one question. There's this dusting attack, right? That, I mean, someone sends some very small amount of tokens into your wallet,
Yeah.
and then you interact with it, and then you get, I mean, they can extract personal information from it. Is that right? What is dusting attack?
Dusting attack refers to the attack that they send dust to your Bitcoin.
They're very small.
Yeah, very small of a amount, and that's used for tracking. So, for example, like in my Bitcoin address, I receive some dust, and if I transfer all my assets to another wallet, and then someone who sent the dust can check your Bitcoin transaction, can trace your history. So the best way is to ignore the dust in the Bitcoin setting.
It's only for tracing purpose.
Yes, for
There's
tracing.
nothing they can do, right?
Yeah, no, it's just a violation of privacy.
Okay. Is there any way to get rid of the dust?
Carry?
I mean, is there any way to get rid of the
You just ignore it. You just ignore the amount. Yeah. And in Ethereum, in current, and I think recently in Tron, there's a popular type of attack that the attackers use some tools to generate address that looks very similar to your own address, and they spam your account with different transactions. For example, they send 0.001 TRX to your wallet, and you think that's your own address. Or for example, if you had exchange, they will imitate your exchange wallet and send you some really small balance. And some users, they go to their Etherscan and try to send money, and they copy the wrong address, and they will send the address to the wrong people. So that's not DOS attack, but kind of spammy and phishing.
So sorry, in that scenario, it's the address that is maliciously created that is a wrong address, right?
Yeah, for example, they can create the first 4 digits and last 4 digits the same as your address or your exchange wallet, and they spam your account with lots of transactions.
Okay.
So when users go to their account page,
And
they try to copy,
they just accept.
They just copy paste when they transfer new assets.
Okay.
For example, the user try to deposit more assets to the exchange address, and some people, they don't check the official exchange address, they check the Etherscan.
Right.
And that's how they transfer the assets to the bad actor.
So how do you penetrate someone's home Wi-Fi or internet? Let's say I have this router at home, and somehow you find out my IP address, you know where I live. How are you able to penetrate my router and get into my personal computer?
It depends on the setup, right? Some people doing port forwarding and have their home server or have their some ports exposed. And
if
maybe
I don't have those things, then it's impossible for you to get into my computer.
it's not possible. I mean, people rotate their IP address all the time, so you get different IP address the next time you connect to the internet. So it's kind of useless for them, but they kind of know like what service provider you're using and what geography you're in.
Let's say I use a static IP address for my home.
Yeah. Then
You know my address, right? You
yeah.
know how to get into it, right?
yeah. Like depends on setup. If you have nothing exposed, then I don't think there's a way.
So if my port is not forwarded, then it still cannot get into my computer.
Yeah, but for example,
Add on to that.
yeah.
So typical setup of your home is you have a router.
Yeah.
So the most important thing is to keep your router updated, because if there's any problems or any vulnerabilities in your router, that's how an attacker can get into your home as well.
Oh, okay. So the router is the point where he has to come in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. So sometimes the router will have some ports exposed. For example, like UPnP. UPnP, I think, was like an old school thing.
I see.
Yeah.
What if your mobile phone has been compromised, say by zero-click, right? And you happen to have your router application that you configure in your phone. Can the attacker then open up that application on your mobile phone and open up access?
Yes, they can. And if your phone is compromised, then the attacker can also get get your Wi-Fi password, for example, and use your phone as a pivoting point to scan the local network. Right? There are a lot of ways that he can take advantage of this.
So once he has a device in your local network,
Yeah.
then he can penetrate.
Yeah.
Oh, so then the router is no longer safeguarding you anymore.
No.
Sorry.
Yeah.
In the case of the Axis rolling, what did happen?
Sorry.
The
Ronin
Axis-
Bridge.
Ronin Bridge.
The private key compromise.
How did it happen? Okay.
How do you steal private key?
Yeah. So Ronin Bridge validators store their private keys at the server. It's online. So their server got penetrated, and I believe only 4 of the private key was stolen at first. The 5th one actually belongs to an external party that they use it for temporary storage. But then the entire company is a subcontractor. The contract company got compromised, and the contract has access to to the storage company, and that's how they got the 5th key. But the server were online, or connect to internet, And when the server got compromised, the private key got leaked.
So it's not a bridge problem.
No, it's not a bridge problem. But the bridge has problems because it requires 5 of 9 signatures to sign a request, which is very low threshold. And also, 4 of the same key, four different keys were stored with one company.
Oh,
So that means the attacker just need to attack one company to get 4 keys.
right.
So that's not a safe design. If 5 keys belongs to different companies, then it's gonna be very difficult to get all of them.
Because in traditional company like us, usually we will use some hardware to so-called secure element to store the keys.
Yeah.
So like this, crypto company or whatever, they are not using those hardware or secure element to store the sensitive informations. They just store it in a server, the server storage.
I believe like regulations nowadays require that you store only 20% of your assets in hot wallet. The remaining 80% will be in cold wallets for exchange or other custodials. So they have to have cold wallets.
I have an example.
Yeah.
This was kind of like what happened when I woke up in the morning.
Yeah.
My router got unbinded.
Yeah.
And then suddenly there was this whole string of hash.
Yeah.
And my router is asking me if I want to bind all my account with this. I
Yeah.
rejected it. It was
Yeah.
when I realized that the home router was taken down already. But it's because it's through the phone malware
Yeah.
itself. So this is a blockchain kind of
This is not blockchain related. I don't think so.
It's probably their own encryption SHA-256, right?
It's the router trying to pretend to be something that's not related. I think it's made by attackers, just like a phishing page.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. It says ASUS, which has a router page and have some like hexadecimal strings. So trying to pretend to be a wallet signing request.
It's from the app in the phone itself.
Yeah.
Like I woke up to that.
It's not normal.
It's
like
from your Asus app pop up.
In the mobile phone.
Wow, that's very real.
During
That looks very
19th
real.
August.
That's very real.
Wow.
Wow.
So it did
So
happen.
basically, Asus got hacked, right? That's why they
No.
could send you official pop up, right? Otherwise, how would you get it?
It's more the phone got malware with an Apple OS update.
Oh,
And then the Chrome browser was probably also compromised. It was like a double whammy 0-click.
wow.
And then it penetrated through the router app in the
Wow.
phone. So don't keep your router settings in your phone.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it went into the home router, which answers your question.
Wow.
Yeah, so we have a real example here. So
Yeah,
she
so
suffered
wiped out my
she suffered a
digital
phishing attack
footprint.
last year.
Yeah. It was bad.
And yeah, let's continue. We're gonna talk about private key storage. Yeah, don't use clipboard for saving private key or mnemonics. Clipboard can be accessed not only by malicious attackers, but can be accessed by other applications. So you can never make sure that other applications won't upload your information to their server. So don't use clipboard.
The recent Windows 11 or Windows security updates, right? For some strange reason, when you click on the start button, if there's a clipboard there that you didn't remove, it often flashes a screenshot. I don't know. It happened to mine. Then until I updated the security settings, the Windows security settings, it was like another 0-click vulnerability within Windows itself.
I'm not aware of that because I don't use Windows, but it's possible. Yeah, and yeah, don't store private keys or mnemonics in cloud services, because cloud services is only protected by either your phone number or just a simple, like your password that you regularly use. If the attacker has access to your cloud service account, then it's finished. So they can transfer your assets, and that's very dangerous. Also, be aware of supply chain attacks. Always check the integrity of your received products.
So what is Kraken trying to prove here?
Kraken is trying to prove that a supply chain attack is feasible to attack the Ledger Nano device, Ledger Nano hardware wallet.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So they are trying to create imagine a scenario that you order a Ledger Nano online,
Right.
and then like during transit, someone got access to your package
Right.
and implant a malicious USB drive within your product, and then when people receive it, they don't know like if it's legit or not, or if it's like safe or not. Right. But it's actually being planted a backdoor. Right. So they're trying to prove. Okay. And yeah, more about phishing prevention. We developed a browser extension to alert people when they are being phished. And we do that by alert people when they are visiting fake social media profiles. And then also, if you're interacting with no malicious website address or no malicious smart contract address, then we will alert you and make sure that you don't continue. Personally, just cross-verify social media messages. So for example, like a name of Elon Musk and a small blue tick check, and a picture of Elon Musk doesn't mean he's Elon Musk. Maybe his name is some other random companies or something. And yeah, and just make sure that they are the real person. And use anti-phishing extensions, for example, the one that we developed. And be cautious when you click on unknown links. Yeah, so here's the end of prevention. Any questions?
This is from a very technological perspective based on intermediate to advanced savvy users, right? If we're talking about an everyday woman or man in the street, as a basic user who has been hacked or compromised, do you foresee that in the next couple of years, let's go 24 months, right, with the amount of scams that we receive on a daily basis, do you think people would have a knee-jerk reaction of undigitizing? They will actually go back to the traditional way of, I don't know, banking over the counter, example, reducing connectivity with the mobile handhelds, deleting all the apps because the apps could have been malware too.
Yeah.
Do you foresee that phenomenon happening? And then people will be abandoning their social media sites because you got Facebook compromised, WhatsApp compromised, Then what do you do?
I think it's a little bit exaggerated because even like, for example, we see on the news all the time like this plane has accident and stuff, but we still take planes, right? So the technology will not go back. It just maybe be more mature and have more protection mechanism for regular user. So for example, the Windows operating system, they don't usually, they were vanilla operating system before, but now they were shipped with Windows Defender, which is antivirus software.
Yeah.
So they're trying to protect people who don't have knowledge in this field. And like digitalization happened in like all aspects of society, and it's kind of difficult to reverse all the changes and go back to the old times. Yeah, but yeah.
But do you foresee sort of like a merger of both physical and digital to make it more fragile? I'll give you an example. When your phone is malware, you can't even issue your OTP token. Right?
Yeah.
If you call the bank, that phone call is hijacked, that OTP is stolen.
Yeah.
That's when you realize I need my physical token to protect my assets.
Yeah, there are products like that. For example, the 2FA. There's one I think kind of popular before called YubiKey that you can like insert into a computer before you start it, and also to generate a one-time password. A lot of companies do that as well. So yeah, definitely combining physical and digital security is the way to go. Any other questions?
Just want to clarify with the OpenSea upgrade attack, right?
Yeah.
The people are claiming that even their NFT asset with their cold wallet has been stolen until they go to the revoke and sign it. So will it still possible in the sense people are claiming that because of this time manipulations compared to the past, whether they keep their access into their cold wallet?
So you're saying that people, sorry. So just to clarify, you're saying that people who said they were using cold wallets got compromised. Yeah.
So their asset has been stolen until they go to the revoke cash.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. The definition of cold wallet is that it cannot connect to internet is kept offline. But for example, the hardware wallet, the Ledger or Trezor, you order them, and you kept offline, right?
Yes.
But when you interact with smart contract, it goes online.
Yeah.
So it's not code anymore.
Yes.
Yeah. And even when they use hardware wallet, if they interact with malicious sites, then they sign their signature, for example, the atomic match in this case, then their assets will be stolen. Yeah.
So at the point of time they go to online, the
Yeah.
asset has been transferred out.
They sign the signature.
Yes.
Yeah. So they already compromised.
Oh. But speaking about the hot wallet, right? Because
Yeah.
Meta and the Panda and the Command one moving into the metaverse,
Yeah.
people always have to use the MetaMask.
Yeah.
Go to connect Decentraland or Sandbox or whatever.
Yeah.
So in future, people are having more access in the metaverse.
Yeah.
No choice they have to use the hot wallet. So is there any protection tools or website for that to prevent hot wallet?
Yes.
There's no choice because people need to go to the metaverse. Their
Yeah.
access must be in their wallet, right?
Yeah.
The MetaMask wallet.
Yeah.
In order to use their
Yeah.
property in the metaverse.
Yeah. I believe like MetaMask is getting more and more secure. Like it gives you warning sometimes, like if you're interacting with a fake website, or but the problem is solidity is a dynamic language. A lot of things happen like dynamically in execution time. It's not deterministic. For example, when you try to swap some coins, you're trying to swap, for example, USDC for the native Ethereum, you don't know how much Ethereum you're gonna receive until it is executed. And therefore, for example, the language I'm gonna talk later, it's the move. We can actually static infer the outcome of transaction. And you see that, oh, I'm gonna sign the transaction. I will pay 5 USDC. I will receive 0.1 Ethereum. And it's very clear. So in the future, like people who use hot wallet will have a better user experience.
Thank you.
Any other questions?